And in addition to that, I also wanted to mention that more and more, as you know now, it's like I can just desire to know something that will provide me greater clarity, and the answer shows up to me. It reveals itself to me, and because I do keep myself open to receive the answer, it might come while I'm meditating, it might come while I'm
Things definitely do have opened up on a different level.
listening to sitting there listening to frequencies.
Yeah.
You might bring up something, or someone might mention something, or I might turn something on, and the answer will be there. That
Hmm.
and then there you have more clarity.
Happens consistently.
Hmm.
And knowing that we have control over it is a
Yeah.
process. And know that you have control over it. You have control over the all the things that take place. And when they take place, all you got to do is make a decision. When something comes in negative, it comes in hard, and gives you a imbalanced or off balanced vibration to where your emotions get shifted. Stop and decide how you want it to turn out, because how you think about it is how it's going to turn out anyway. So if you think it's going to be bad, if you think it's, oh, this is terrible, then you just building up the momentum for it to be more terrible than you're giving it credit to be, because it has no legs until you give it energy. So when it shows up, if you can shut it down in a sense, none doesn't matter what it is. You can choose your outcomes, and because three is a beautiful number, pick three new ways that you would want the bad situation you're looking at to turn out. And you could think it's going to turn out exactly like the way you think is going to turn out by looking at it, but you choose how you want it to turn. Pick three ways. You just shifted the universe ability to go against your commandment. You command for it to be, and if you pick the three ways you want, you don't have to be, you're secured now, because it's going to be one or the other way that you desire, not the way that it could have turned out if you would have let the universe just keep on building off of your energy, accepting or feeling like it's a bad thing. Because I reversed a lot of things after learning. Some things took me years to realize. Damn, that happened to me now. I realized if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be in this position I'm in. But it had to happen. And now I realize when things come up, I'm grateful to stop and take a look at them, especially, really serious things, because we don't attract no bull crap. Everything you attract is something that you are supposed to address at that moment. And because we have such a real serious demographic, a dynamic of shit we're doing, I have to be on 10 toes. So when it comes in like that, I have to be willing to stop, balance myself, and find out, how do I want this to turn out? How do I want this to turn out? Not how I need it to turn out, but I command it to turn out like this. Give myself the three options. I could say one, but you know what's interesting? You could pick that one and you'll start doubting that one quicker than you will the three. You know what I'm saying? You won't doubt your three. If you pick three good ones, it doesn't matter if you doubt them or not. One of them is going to be the one that happens. So you can focus in on one or the other. If you doubt it, the other one's going to pick up on it. One thing for sure, it won't be what it was if you didn't give it direction.
And then if you're competitive, especially with yourself,
As
and the
I,
first one doesn't work, you're going to be more, and you're going to feel more obligated to make the second one work.
oh
And if
yeah,
then the first and the second one don't work, and you're for real about those three things, by the time you get to that third one, unless you come up with a fourth one,
yeah, but
you're
yeah,
gonna there's not gonna be many reasons you or excuses you will give yourself as a competitive person to yourself, that there won't be many reasons, if any, that you would give yourself why that third one won't work.
yeah. Realistically, you won't.
You
It
won't.
won't be a third one. In
No.
my field of life, it's not a second one. All my stuff is at one. I'm focusing on the three, but generally speaking, I focus so hard on the one, the first one, because it's intuition that gives me the answer of what I'm looking for. I pretty much turn it over. I realize it's about knowing. I don't have faith in too much of anything anymore. I've had faith for many years, and I've learned that the things I have faith in turned into a knowing, and I either believe it or I don't. And when I believe it, when I so-called believe it, it's not even I don't even have to believe it, because I know, based upon all the scriptures, all of the beliefs, all of the experiences, all of the experiences, all of the experiences, you know what I'm saying, that I've gone through, I'm good. I don't need a confirmation from anything outside of me. My intuition, clearly is the source of the necessary information that I need for everything that goes on throughout the rest of this journey. And it's been helpful for me. It's been helpful for me sharing it, especially because before I didn't know this empathy that I had. I didn't know I was supposed to use this for sharing. I've always been hard body. I've always been an only child getting pressed on, so I had to press back, and now I press harder than the average. So I've had to kind of back up a little bit just from current people. But I realize if you can't handle the pressure, you're not supposed to be in front of me. So I'm just like, okay, well, I realize I got seeds that I have to be responsible for. I planted seeds that I have to nurture and grow. Anything outside of that, if you can't handle the flow, then go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Hey, we got to do what we got to do. So that's why I've always looked for the outside. I've always found the answer within inside of myself, like looking inside so that I can really, really listen to what is going on within this without outside of this thing, because it's controlled by, this outside infinite intelligence. And once I know, once I got to know thyself, I realized that everything is controlled by my thoughts and my reaction, my action, reaction, and emotional attachment to it. So there, we you have total control over your situation. There are no excuses, and that's what you'll hear me say all the time because we've gone through it. She when we're going to be, I want to appear to be, and I want you to feel me to be the most positive and loving energy that you ever came across when it comes down to sharing what I have to offer. At the same time, I want you to know that I cut your head off based upon the facts of what we have to offer, it being facts. And what you go through is real. You can't play with your life. You can't play with your family. You can't play with your children. You can't play no games with your. You can't be out here dipping and diving and think a tragedy or some kind of accident or something you're not going to attract. For real.
That's true.
Cut the head off that crap. Like for real, you have to be in a certain space of vibration to continue to receive. We all want it. We want it. You know what I'm saying? We want it. But if you're not vibrationally attached to receive it, you're not getting nothing. We're not getting it because I've brick walled it. You know.
And then another thing I wanted to add about those three things, like
Hmm.
if you are competitive or you're serious and you end up getting to that third thing and about like you're going to take everything, you're going to take your all to make that work. By the time you get there, another good thing is you usually know why the first and the second one didn't work as well.
Well, I guess. I mean, I don't guess. I agree with you. Still the same. I guess that's kind of like from a female perspective, because no disrespect, females don't want to listen too much to begin with. So when it comes down to that structure, I can see the first, second, and third. But as a man, we end up getting put in positions where we have to listen. You know what I'm saying? And it might seem like the first time, but nah, you was told to listen 4 or 5 times before you got in the jam. You dig what I'm saying? So I can relate to it always, and but that's what's important. The
It
yin, the
is.
yang. We got to share from all perspectives, and yeah, it's
Yeah, because
them
people
three
learn from
choices.
different
Them three
perspectives.
choices. If you lose past the three, like the game says, you're out. You know what I'm saying? You might as well go ahead and go to sleep. If out of three choices you make, and you choose the three choices, and something out of that don't, and you get to choose, then you didn't believe nothing about nothing you got going on. All you did was just trust in the, well, maybe the frequency is off. There's a lot of things about that. We got to do a lot of work. Shadow work gets you up to a certain point. It's not just something to talk about. We speaking about it because we do this, but we're speaking about it because we are the example, and we'll give you the receipts. We can show you receipts to prove that we do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's the aspect. Yeah, you got to make a decision. Your responsibility. Your responsibility. So, okay, what are some experiences that have encouraged me to be and do better when it came to parenting? You,
The
you,
examples around me, when you can see your children say or do
boy,
something
that's
that you can be
exactly.
honest with about yourself that you know you do, and you can see another do it and you really get to see what it looked like from a different angle,
Man, that was my
that
answer. That was my answer. When you
that's my
see them
answer.
emulate you, when you're looking at your little clone do you, and that's the part of you you don't like in the beginning.
There
That
you
part,
go.
that part, That's a
There
part.
you go.
That's a part right there. You can't do nothing but go to the mirror. But that's another reason I'm grateful that you said that, because that was going to be my answer anyway. But the reason I'm grateful is because that will enable you to understand why it's so important to get a better relationship with you.
Yeah, because you have to be mindful because it really, and the thing is, you might do it one time or so briefly you did not realize it until you just see them take it and run with it.
It's a
And you'd be like,
gene.
gosh, where did they
It's a
get that
no. It's a
from? And
gene.
then you'd
It's
be
a
like,
gene. They caught onto that gene
oh,
before they
yeah,
ever
that
got it.
one quick second I responded like that. And they were right there looking at me and I thought they weren't paying attention and they were. And they took it and they ran with it just because that's that little part of you that you just don't like. So,
Yeah. You don't. I mean, as I've grown, I've done a lot to change, to reinvent my whole process. Um, and in that, when you get past something, or you think you're past something, and you're not bringing it up, you really don't need nobody to bring it up. Like, yo, you remember you used to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're not doing that. I've had that experience when you're growing and the next person's not growing. They stuck in their phase, and you get in a conversation with them, and they coming with the same argument or same disagreement or same information, and you got different information, and then they'd be like, you remember when you used, but the thing is, I'm not speaking to you from what I used to. We're here. Like, this is the whole thing. This growth thing is very important to pay attention to how people are communicating, because you could read something tonight. I was telling one of my young kings this yesterday, how quantum fields change based upon your understanding of things. It's not just you, like meditating and imagining yourself. No, you could be reading something, get a better understanding of it, and it could literally shift your quantum to the point where when okay, you could be riding around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You can just regular route. You can go to and you can do this route. You've been doing this route for a year. You can go home. 1 o'clock, you can start reading something that really, really shifts your vibration, something that brings clarity to your awakening, like literally changes your focus on something within you that makes you want to do better. You can leave at 3 o'clock and go back that same way, and you can see a structure that's there that you knew was not there before. But because you're in a different vibrational realm for whatever reason, and that structure, I can't say what the structure is there for, because it might not be nothing but a building. It might be but it's something that physically you did not or could not have seen before. Like, that it would have taken too long to build it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's only because, you didn't see it. Yeah, you didn't see it, but you were in a different vibrational realm. I really understand the quantum fields now, as I've learned how to do hypnotherapy and NLP and all of this meditating, quantum jumping, and things of that nature, and really using my imagination and learning that I've been doing this since I've been a child. We all been doing it. You've been using your imagination. You've been going into the quantum field.
and you can't hear something on AM if you have it set on FM anyway.
Yes. What did you say? Speak up. Speak up so that can be heard.
I said you can't hear something on, excuse me. I said you can't hear something playing on AM if you have it set on FM anyway.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And it is